They don't give it to y'all. They don't give it to the masses of America. They don't put it in the school system because it will change up what they teach.
I, so when you say y'all, what do you talk about with y'all? You mean
People
general
that
society?
are American that went to school in this country.
So everybody that's American didn't just go to a public school. So the only thing that you can really speak on is public school, and
Oh,
that's
you're
just
not learning that in a Catholic school. You're not
you.
learning that in a private. If it's a private school, it would have to be a black ran private school.
I'm just gonna listen. I don't think it's wise to ever speak on something you have no controls or limitations on. You have no idea what schools are out here. You haven't looked into any, curriculums. I haven't either, so let's just not do that.
I'm gonna tell you
But
why the Holy Blood and Holy Grail would not go in any Catholic school, any religious school of
mhm.
Catholic or Christianity. Because honestly, it tells you in that book, Jesus didn't die on a stake or a cross. He watched it. Like that's why I said if people actually read these books, it's not to say they are
I
not
was
allowed in certain places because of what the book says.
so let me ask you then. Let me ask you something is because I kind of want to
Ooh,
circle back to like the books in prison and how you get punished for that, which I think is interesting because in real life you have to punish them kids to make them read a damn book. But do you think that by reading books that are banned, you know, do you ever consider that some books are banned because no one should read them? Period. Not because there's good information in there, but maybe there's information that nobody should get.
you have books of that nature, but then
Because
you also have books of the nature that no, they don't want you to read them
it's
because
like
they have
this
the
book that you
truth.
describing is doesn't sound like a book I'd want to read.
Oh no, it literally paints you. It shows you where to look at. Cause everybody that reads it says the same thing. The book is written by two professors that went around the world because they studied religion, they studied theology, and they just wanted to know the truth from themselves instead of what everybody said to them. And a lot of things that they went and found and read and studied, which they'll point out in that book, they literally give you
Want to know the
everything
truth
to
about
look
what?
at for yourself.
The truth
And
about
it's
what?
like about because really that book is about religion, theology. It's religion. They studied religion.
What's the point of the book though?
Basically, the truth of religion. Of no, the truth of monotheism religion, the one God religion. Because polytheism is the belief of many gods, monotheism is the belief of one God. And they basically were studying the belief of one God, monotheism, which starts with the Hebrews. If you want to go with the track of history and the time, Hebrews was the first monotheism
Time
religion.
out. Time out. All right. Because I'm trying to understand. Well, I don't have to
Because
ask that.
religion is something they don't want in prisons. And they don't want you to sit there and know the truth of religion in prison because you knowing truths about religion
I
are
guess
either
my real
being
question is
big in that.
what made you read this book?
Oh, because I always wanted to know the truth about religion myself. Why do you have so many religions as far as Catholic, Christianity, Jehovah Witness, uh,
You
Islam,
know, most of these are
Judaism?
man-made religions that you talk about. So I can tell
But
you,
here's the
man-made
thing is you
those.
have all these people that follow these religions, and but yet all these religions are supposed to go by the same God, but none of y'all like each other. So I studied religions because I wanted to know why the hell do y'all act like this? Would God actually tell you like it? None of it made sense to me for why they was against each other, but y'all all supposed to be following the same God. So why would y'all be against each other? Wouldn't God want everybody with each other? Like, so it didn't make sense. So I studied it. I studied Islam. I studied Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism. Any
All
books
right,
I could find and read
No, no, no,
about
no.
it,
But before we go
I
to the other
read them.
books, but wait, because I still want to get to this one book in particular because it's interesting from what you shared. But how did you get introduced to this book?
Oh, somebody had it and he heard what I was talking about and he introduced me to the book.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
He was able to get it before he was a lifer. He was in prison for life. And he already had 30 years under his belt by the time I got there. So he had the book before it became outlawed in prison.
Okay.
And I happened to get, he gave it to me.
Yeah. You know, when I went to basic training, I started reading the Old Testament because when I went, I didn't take books with me. And, you know, when you go to basic training is changed now, but when I went, you used to, you know, you don't have your cell phone. Your first day when you first arrive in the barracks for when you about to start the real basic training, when you know the drill sergeants and all that, they put everything into like a locker and he takes it. And you only get your phone like once or twice throughout the whole 9 week period. I think it's the best thing for you because as soon as the motherfuckers got their phones, that's when people started getting depressed, worrying about their girlfriends, doing stuff on them and stuff. I loved it, man. But anyway, I guess the correlation I was making is I think there's something to be said about when we're isolated, that exploration of religion. And here, and granted, we was different circumstances. You being in prison, but me being basic, we both explored religion a little bit. But, you know, so that's what I was trying to make light of.
I mean, I never truly believed in religion like people believe in it. And I never understood why people would beef over something that you're all supposed to be one under. So I studied it, read every book I can get my hands on. I even studied the Dharma. As far as Buddhism, I studied it all. Taoism, I read every damn thing I can get on monotheism and polytheism religions. Because one thing I read in the Old Testament and in Genesis in the New Testament was that when it comes to the Ten Commandments, one of God's commandments is, thou shalt not put no other God before me. Not person, not thing, but no other God before me. And then reading the rest of Genesis, it was just like, is he the only God? So it made me actually want to read and look at everything like, hold up, what's up with this? And then reading and doing all the other things, and where reading this book brung me to this one and brung me to this. It was like, what's the truth when it comes to that? Is it what the Bible says? Is it what the Quran says? Is it what the Torah says? Or is it none of them and it's something completely different?
Mm.
And it all goes with belief, because nobody can prove none of this with a fact. It's all belief. So it's, what do you believe and what do you choose to believe, or do you choose to keep seeking the truth? And me, when it comes to as far as religion wise, I keep this to go seeking the truth. But I believe we still don't know exactly what it is. And maybe we're not supposed to know, but I'm curious.
I hear you.
My
I'm
bad.
one of them ones.
Had to
I'm
adjust the things real
curious.
quick. Um, I mean that's interesting. And I guess I'm still trying to close up on that book. And so, what did you arrive at from the book about religion? The ultimate. What did it tell you the reason for religion was?
To control people. That's my belief, and I believe that before the book. That book just helped me believe more of it. That religion is a way to control the people.
Okay. Uh,
And that's not
I
just
didn't.
black people or anything, that's the world
No,
in general.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. I could see, I see where somebody could come with that. Um, interesting, interesting. Are there any other books that you read?
Beyond the Behold the Pale Horse. Um,
Ooh, can we talk about
what's
that
the
for a little bit? I heard a lot about that book. That book is of a lot of folklore and like hip hop culture, and the Busta Rhymes has talked about it. I've seen
that
that
book
book a few
brings up
times.
a lot of
Um,
things that people like to say is mythology, when it's like, honestly, when you look at the word mythology and where it came from Catholics with calling people
hold on. Let's not get too far real fast because Prodigy talked about it a lot too with the Illuminati and all that. In his book, he mentions it as well as a book to read.
but also when it comes to the Illuminati, it's kind of, oh Lord. But that, like you said, that book goes into that, and other books go forth with that. But the Illuminati was first created to destroy the Catholic Church. because at that time the Catholic Church controlled the people and did not want the peasants to read, did not want them to have no knowledge. Because if I'm able to say, "Oh, God told me for you to do this," you're going to listen to me, especially if you can't read the scriptures, you can't read the Bible. You don't know what that book says. You only know what I'm telling you it says. So you had lots of evil men using that to control. And yes, the Roman Catholic Church was big on that back then. And the Illuminati was first created was to destroy the Catholic Church.
All right, man.
Nothing major
I'm
of
not really.
anything else.
I
Now
don't.
nowadays, I don't know. I
I'm gonna
won't
tell
go
you
into
something,
all that
man.
because I
I
don't know.
think the problem with why I stress research, what is research, is because you guys don't research, you read just too much. That stuff's not important, man. Research is reading continually on a subject that's gonna build on. None of that stuff is gonna help you. I don't know anything
Oh,
about that stuff, and
you're talking
I really
about
don't
that
want
book
to.
though. You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah, no,
that
no, no, no.
book.
I know. I'm just talking in general for other people that are listening. Um, but yeah, that Illuminati stuff can get crazy.
It goes really deep.
Sheesh.
It goes too far. It really does. It goes to a point where I can go into something called the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. It goes to a whole different depth of different things that just some of them actually pertain to us still to this day, like the Uniform Commercial Code and other things which you can find in law books to this day. Well, in prison they took all them law books out. We wasn't allowed to learn the UCC. It's like
Mm.
I went to the box for teaching people the UCC code, and that shit is crazy. It's just things that in prison you end up trying to do and find out to try to help yourself that, oh shit, I'm not allowed to do. But yet, ain't this supposed to be to help me? Don't I live in a free country? But yet, people don't realize when you become a prisoner, you're no longer a man. You're one fourth of a man. Not even half of a man. One fourth of a man. That's what you are when you go to prison. Look it up. That is actually proof. Just like a slave, one fourth of a man. When you're in prison,
Oh
you are
yeah, man.
one
I'm
fourth of a
familiar with
man.
the 13th Amendment, man. A lot of good work out there. And that's definitely some information. At some point, I would sit down and watch with mentees. It's a good and important information to know there. I heard the 48 Laws of Power is banned in prison as well.
Yeah, it took a few years before they was able to do it, but they did it finally. Art of War also, which I read the Art of War, 48 Laws of Power, um, Laws of Attraction. Um, One of my favorite Indian authors, Chopra, the Seven Universal Laws of Success, explaining the universal laws in general. Like I was a big Deepak Chopra fan. I read a lot of his books, but some of his books you can't get in prison no more either.
Well, sounds like you're a good reader, man. A book that I would recommend for you to read is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Yeah, I haven't finished that book myself. It's a big book, but it's a really good read. I think it's in particular it really helps you kind of build not just empathy, but like really change your perception on how you view world and just what other people are doing. I just think it's a powerful read.
But yeah, as far as book wise, you'll be surprised what you're not allowed to read when you go into prison. Can't even get, which it makes no sense.
I mean, it does actually. It's because it's the things that we take for granted. Knowledge is power, and they make that really known once you get to prison. That's why they don't allow you to read the books that can help you get that sustainable, changeable power. Those books that you all named are titles that I believe, well, except for some of the religion ones, are books that you'd find in what I call the self-help section, which is what I believe is one of the richest parts of the bookstore because a lot of people write books giving you powerful tips that can help you change your life from their own lived experience. And sometimes these people read books themselves. So like I'm reading a book right now, Your Mind is What You Think, and the author has read a lot of books that you named and some of those quotes from those books will be in his book. So in reality, I'm reading this person, but I'm still getting information I would have got had I read that book. So you get like a two for one, but you just got to do your due diligence to know who to read from and who not. If you just don't want to just look at like the bestsellers, of course. And in fact, the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene, that's actually his whole bag. All his books are is just every chapter is just different historical examples of somebody illustrating the law that he's talking about. So he's not, I mean, yes, he's a writer, but the reality is he's not coming up with nothing. He's just telling you different stories over and over again to reiterate a concept, which is dope though, but again, he ain't creating nothing new.
No, he didn't, because a lot of that in 48 Laws of Power is from The Art of War. There's a lot of different things in that book that are literally from The Art of War, um, the Universal Law of Power. Like he has different things. Like I'll say he uses a lot of his influence was from the Asian culture as far as different things of that nature. Because when you actually look at it, that was their principles. And
I mean, he's got the laws of power, laws of seduction. He actually has the laws of war too.
yeah,
And then 50's got a 50th law.
yeah. Because like a lot of them
Yeah.
things, because it's honestly, it's like yes, Chinese do have the oldest written
Oh
history
yeah.
as far as recorded. So it's a lot easier to take things from them when it comes to some stuff like that. Because
Trying to, man, trying. Nah, we just flowing today because we got some time.
yeah,
I'm
somebody
Jessica
off the
Sammy. Nice to
street.
meet you. Shout out to Sammy Killing. Check us out while we talking live, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jessica Spy Mentoring.
My bad. Yeah, it is getting kind of
Dude
late
off
though.
the street. Yeah, nigga, it's 132.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
probably got to wrap it up soon.
yeah, but there's just a lot of books that people should read that they no longer read because I just think people forgot how to read unless it's on social media.
You know,
Picking up a
one
book
book
is hard.
it is, but it isn't. But I was gonna tell you, man, one book I recommend, and a young man I met when I was in North Carolina, he was in fifth grade. He read this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. I recommend you find that book, get the original editorial, and read it. It's by Earl Nightingale. Book will change your life. It'll change how you look at money and your goals and everything. I think anybody that wants to be something more than themselves, if you want to be a boss for real, that's a book you need to read. Think and Grow
Or
Rich.
read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
So no. So it's not or, it's and. You need to read that book as well. That's what I was gonna say next. You need to read
Rich
Rich Dad Poor
Dad, Poor
Dad.
Dad.
Word. He has another one too. He's got a couple books that guy's written. If you can find him on social media, you should subscribe to his channel and get his reels because he talks real stuff all day. I forgot the brother's name.
Oh,
We'll get that for you later. But yeah,
I'll recommend the book. I actually already said that everybody should read, regardless of what your aspects of life on, by Deepak Chopra, The Seven Universal Laws of Success. Trust me, what is said in that book, and it's not a long book or a big book, can help out anybody in their everyday life.
and for
Seven
my young
Universal
brothers,
Laws of Success by
word.
Deepak Chopra.
And the way of the superior man. That's a good read, brother. Read the way of the superior man. Dial in.
Right. I don't. These books hold meaning. Knowledge is power. Words is knowledge. Learn them.
Shit.
I don't know, bro. I think we got about 2 or 3 episodes worth of content, man. I am going to shut it down myself, actually.
Copy.
I will do some notes between maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, and I'll message you because I got to work on an episode for another guy, and I'll start working on some ideas for what we talked about earlier. All right?
Yeah. I'll hit you about that tomorrow. Also. Well, later today. All
Yeah. At least I got the whole setup, so now I can flow faster.
right.
All right, peace. Good talking to that. Proud of you,
Yes,
yo. You
sir.
really did your thing on the gang episode. Good shit.
I still have more to say than that, but that's why I told you have your questions ready so I don't get off topic.
You right. You right.
But I'll get off topic easily.
Yes, you will.
So you gotta
All
have
right.
your questions ready because I had a lot more to say with that, but got off topic.
Bet.
Like I didn't even go in about Tookie, Raymond, or none of them, or how it truly started, like how the beef really happened after the guns and the drugs, and why it kept on going, why it went from Cali to Midwest to New York, and why certain areas, like I believe New York, the gang life should have never came. Well, Blood and Crip should have never came to New York. It was the worst thing to happen.
Agree.
And I have a whole shit behind that because New York kind of pushed that gang shit to where it's at now. Where if it didn't come to New York, it wouldn't have got like that. People forget New York is a state of influence. Like that state itself just influences things that other states can't do. I don't know why New York is like that, but it is. But all right, nigga. I'm gonna hit you later.
All right, bet. Yeah, I'm shutting it down
One.
now.